Have you ever been concerned about what really happens when you are asleep with your satin bonnet on your head? Because you're going to bed 1 minute with your satin bonnet on your head and you're waking up the next morning wondering where your satin bonnet is. Well, that is usually the case with me more often than not. However, after doing a lot of research, I found the solution to missing your satin bonnet when you go to bed. I'm going to show you all how to make this drawstring satin bonnet that is guaranteed to stay put on your head even when you are asleep. This satin bonnet does not move, okay? It does not disappear on you while you are in La La Land. So if you're interested in learning about how to make this beautiful addition to the natural hair community, please make sure you watch the video to the end. Also, please share this video with anybody that you think will find this kind of video useful, and don't forget to like the video as well. Please subscribe if you are yet to, and all that good stuff. All right guys, I'm just going to allow you see a typical depiction of how this satin bonnet works. I just finished wearing it on my head and I'm about to go to bed, and then you'll be pleasantly surprised to see that I'll wake up the next morning with my satin bonnet still on my head. It was even shocking for me. This particular day when I woke up and found out that my satin bonnet was still on my head, I was in shock. I was pleasantly surprised. So I'm not going to be stingy with knowledge. I'm going to show you all how you can make yourself this particular cute piece of hair item. And yeah guys, without talking too much, let's get straight into this tutorial. Let's go. Alright family, without wasting too much of our time, if you are yet to see the video on how to make this circle pattern, I'm going to leave that video on the screen, so feel free to go check it out. It was a video I posted right before this one, so feel free to go check it out so you'll be able to catch up to speed with what we are doing. So all I'm doing now is I'm just using my circle pattern to cut out my fabric. So why you are seeing a half circle here is because I folded my full circle, right? I folded that circle into two to give me a half circle just to make cutting very seamless. So I'm going to cut two pieces of satin fabric and then we'll move on to the next stage in this particular tutorial. Alright guys, so I went ahead to do that, and these are all the items that you'll be needing in making this drawstring hair bonnet. So you need this cord elastic. It's called cord elastic and it's kind of chunky. So you have the slim type and the chunky type. For the purpose of this particular drawstring type of hair bonnet, I suggest you use the chunky type because that one is stronger and yeah, it gives you more guarantee basically, especially if you're doing it as a business. You don't want to sell something to your clients that would not last. You want to make sure you're using good quality items, and yeah, feel free to go ahead to buy this chunky cord elastic. You also need this cord lock as well. It's going to help the elastic stay put. This is what helps your drawstring elastic become a real drawstring elastic, right? It helps you adjust the tightness and the looseness of your drawstring hair bonnet. All right guys, so what I'm doing now is I'm placing my circles on top of each other, right sides facing each other, and I'm just getting my pins to just pin the fabric together just to make them stay put, because I'm working with Duchess satin and it moves around a lot. So the idea is to use my pins to hold them together so that they stay put. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to sew my fabric all around and leave about 2 to 3 inches space for turning the fabric inside out. You're sewing on 1/2 of an inch. All right guys, so now that I'm done sewing, what I'm doing here is just notching my circle. I'm going to notch it all around before flipping it inside out. This is just to allow the edges of my satin bonnet to stay relaxed, just to allow it relaxed basically. You want the edges to be relaxed and not to look poofy and just unkept. So once I'm done doing that, I'm going to turn my fabric inside out from that spot. Remember the 2 to 3 inches I told you to leave? Exactly. So you're going to turn your fabric inside out from that point. Making this drawstring headband is the easiest thing ever. And guys, like you saw at the beginning of the video, this thing does not move. Like, it actually stays put on your head all through the night. Turning the fabric inside out too is seamless, easy peasy, as long as you left enough space. Remember, 2 to 3 inches space, and that's where you're going to turn your fabric inside out from. So now that I'm done turning my fabric inside out, I'm going to take it to my ironing board, give it a good press just to make things look very smooth and nice and just really, really neat. So I'm going to quickly go to my ironing board right now, iron the edge and make sure that the edges are flat and nice, and then I'm going to move on to the next stage. So what I'm doing here now after ironing is I'm marking 1 inch on the edge of my satin bonnet, right, of my circle. So what I'm doing now is marking 1 inch at that edge, and I'm marking that 1 inch all around the circle. Once I'm done marking the 1 inch, I'm going to take the circle to my sewing machine and then sew on that 1 inch point that I marked all around. Remember, we still have that our 2 to 3 inches space opened. We are not closing up that space just yet. So I'm going to go to my machine now and sew all around and close everywhere that I marked. That 1 inch space, this time you're not leaving 2 to 3 inches, you're sewing a round full circle on that point. So remember that 2 to 3 inches space, this is where that space is going to be useful for us now. That is where we are going to be passing our cord elastic through. So you're going to pass as gently as possible. Make sure that you pass your elastic carefully, and once that is done, we are going to go ahead to now attach the cord lock to our drawstring elastic. That cord lock is going to help you adjust the tightness and the looseness of your satin bonnet when you go ahead to wear it. And with adding the cord lock, it's easy peasy. What you need to do is press that button-like kind of piece on the cord lock, press it, and then pass your cord elastic through the circular space in between. I don't know how to explain it, but if you've ever had to work with a cord lock, you know what I mean. So you pass that your cord elastic through that space, pass the 2 pieces of elastic sticking out from the 2 opposite sides of your circle, pass it through that spot, and then when you're done passing it through successfully, you want to form a strong knot. So tie the edge so that the cord lock will not just slip out of the cord elastic. I hope you guys understand what I mean. So what I'm doing now is forming my knot at that point, just a simple knot. Make sure that it's tight enough so it doesn't start to loosen too quickly. And yeah, guys, once that is done, our satin bonnet is like 80% done. So after doing this, what you want to do is now close up that 2 to 3 inches space. You might not be able to close it up totally because that is where your cord elastic is coming out from, right? But you want to sew as close to the edge as possible. Make sure that you close up that space such that your elastic, now your cord elastic, will not be moving around too much. So you take it to your sewing machine, sew on 1/8 of an inch at that point, and then voila, guys, that's pretty much it for this tutorial. This is what my drawstring satin bonnet looks like. It looks absolutely beautiful, and it was suggested to me by one of my subscribers on here, one of us on here. She sent me a message, and yeah, guys, this particular bonnet has been handy. I've been wearing it almost every day. If you come to my house to visit me, this is what you will most likely find on my head in my house. If you enjoyed watching this video, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you are yet to be part of this family. Also, give me a big fat thumbs up so that I know that you guys got value. And yeah, guys, feel free to share with your loved ones, your friends and family. And thank you guys so much again for watching. And yeah, guys, I can't wait to see you in another tutorial. Bye.